we are having two numbers represented as linked lists, and their nodes represent digits. So we wanna add corresponding nodes between each other and save the sum into the third list, which we will return eventually. So I'm gonna create a head of the third list. This is gonna be let's node, and let's go through our lists. I'm gonna create a node, a current node of the third list where we want to store our sum. I'm gonna call it current, and from the first iteration, it's gonna be equal to our it's gonna be our head of the third list, right? So till which moment we want to iterate through those lists till there is nothing to add. Even so, we want to continue even if there's no nodes from the first list, but let's say there is node from the second list, right? And this is the first condition. We will have another condition a bit later. Oh, sorry. So yeah, and so L1 is the node from the first list, and L2 is the node from the second list. And if one of those is not null, we will have iteration. And here there will be another condition where we also want to have an iteration. Let's check if our first node is not null. Then we want to have a variable where we want to store our sum of those two nodes. I'm going to create a global variable called sum, where I will store my values of two nodes, right? From the beginning, it's going to be 0, of course. Sum L1. We're taking a value from the node of the first list. We're taking value from the second list, if there is such a node, right? And here we can update our links for the second for the next iteration. I'm gonna do it here. That's it here. We're done, and let me create next node from the current node for my third list. And actually, I'm gonna store my sum there. That's because I won't return my very first node, and if you're not getting this now, you will get it a bit later. So let's say my sum equals so it's not like 5 or 6. Let's say it consists from 2 digits, and we want to take only the first one, which if let's say I have 12, I'm gonna take 2, right? That's how I do it, right? So I'm saving it in the node of in the next node, and this is it. That's our final node. We won't make anything with the one. And I'm gonna update sum to kill the first digit and to keep only the second one. And I'm gonna update my current node. Yeah, I'm gonna update the link to the node, and we're gonna take the next node which we just created. So, little example. Let's say we're having 2, 4, 4, 7 as the first list, and the second list is gonna be let's say 5, 6, 7, 8. And here our third list, which is gonna be 7, then goes 10, and we are keeping only we're leaving a 0, and we're pushing the second digit, which is 1, obviously, to the next iteration, and it's gonna be available in our sum, right? We are removing our 0 here, and right, yeah, and we're keeping only 1. It goes to the next iteration. So here's going to be 7 plus 7 plus 1 from the previous iteration. It's going to be 15. We keep 5 here. We're pushing our 1 to the next node, and it's going to be 9 here. So that's basically it. That's okay. That it works in this variant, in this. That's how it's implemented. It will work for this example in this situation. But let's say we have here 9, and in this situation we are pushing 1 from the previous iteration. This is going to be 10, and we won't store 10. We'll store only 0, and we're gonna push 1 to the next iteration. That's how it should be. And this is the correct variant, right? And here we want to make another condition, another check, if our sum is not 0. And now it will work just fine, because let's say we're having this last node from our lists, from our input lists, and this is gonna make another iteration for this last node. That's fine. We're gonna create here the next node. We're storing there our 0, right? But we are having something in our sum, which is 1, and we want to check if there is something in our sum, and that's why we want to make another iteration, and we want to create another node in this our results in third list. So why we are storing sum in the next node from the current? Because in the beginning we're having our let's call it head. We're having our head, and this is gonna be just like that. And head from the beginning, it doesn't have any value, and we won't return it. Instead of that, we're gonna return head next, because in this implementation each time we will create the next node from the current, and this is it's done this is done mostly for this situation where we don't have any nodes, and but we're any nodes to add, but we have something to in our sum. That's why we're creating the next node from the current, and we're storing the sum in this next node. That's just a convenient implementation. It can be solved without this pushing to the next node our current sum, but that's just that looks better this way. And that's basically it. Let's run it. So yeah, results it won't have this hat, and this is gonna be our result. Yeah, it works. Let's submit it. Yeah, works. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful.